Okay, we're going to talk about my ad strategy for 2026, but I want to start by reflecting back on 2025 so you can see how I came up with this. So, a lot of people come to me and they say, I don't know where to start. I don't know a strategy, or my strategy's not working. I'm stuck. Listen, this has been my mindset from the moment I started my career in marketing, and it has done me wonders. Basically, it's two steps: test shit and then reassess. Okay. So when I test things, though, I test it for a long time, like 3, 4, 5, 6 months at a time before I come to a conclusion, unless I'm using ads. And ultimately, I feel this too. If something, quote unquote, isn't working, I actually don't see it as the fault of the strategy or the platform or what have you. I just think I probably need to be doing more. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. It's been so funny. I've been running ads for my program, and some of the comments and questions that I get make me chuckle because the expectation that building a business and marketing should be easy and fast and simple is absolutely crazy to me. I've never had that thought. I've always known it's going to be hard, and I've welcomed that with open arms. I was trying to explain to one person why boosting posts versus running ads are two different things. And was talking about how she can't figure out how to run ads. Like, the only option from her app is to click boost post. So I told her, you need to go to business.facebook.com to go to the Meta Business Suite, to the ads manager. That's where you run ads. And she was irritated. She said, I have to get on my computer every time I want to run an ad. Yes. Yes, you do. You can do it. You can get on your computer. I promise. It's not hard. That part's not hard, right? Another person, the promise of my program has been to run profitable ads within 90 days. And of course, there's so much that goes into that. You have to learn about how ads work. You have to create your ads. You have to get them up and running. You have to test new things. And there was another comment on one of those ads that was like, sheesh, I cannot wait 90 days. I do not have time for that. And of course, there's so many people who run ads profitably who come into my program within 7 days of joining the program. But I'm not going to promise that you can get that done because that's way too much to fit into 7 days. But my question to that person who's saying 90 days is way too long is, what else are you going to do? Is there another way to learn a brand new skill, implement said skill, and see results instantly? There's not. Even hiring out isn't going to make the results much faster than 90 days. Even if you hire an expert who's really good and who's going to kill it for you, which we know a lot of people struggle with finding. Growth, skills, level ups, they take time, but there are ways we can compress that amount of time. But nothing's instant. Okay, I'll get off my tangent there. Basically, I try things and then I try some more. So my big themes of 2025 were these 3 things. 1, launching. 2, testing evergreen funnels in between launches, so running ads to other things other than a live event. And then 3, podcasting and dialing in my organic content, so posting to Facebook and Instagram and email. I have thoughts on each of those, and that's where I spent a lot of my time, my energy, my focus. So I sat down and reflected, how are those things doing? Where should I go next with those things? So my thoughts on each of those, starting with launching. Launches are mentally taxing, but they have been extremely profitable and fruitful for my business. And every single one gets better as far as profitability and revenue, and also easier. Energy, the mental tax that comes with just spending a lot of money and then having to wait to see if it pays off. The whole process gets more systematic, all of those things. So I knew I wanted to continue and potentially do even more launches this year than last year. The double down mentality, double down on what's working, right? The next thing I spent time on was testing evergreen funnels between launches, which was great. I just know I didn't put enough time or energy into that because of these other things that I was focused on and still wanting to do a lot of client delivery. So I know this could be a great strategy to make sales between launches and to learn a lot about messaging and conversions and what's working and what's not as far as other strategies other than launching. I just really need to be my own ad manager, right? I need to be my own client. And that's something I didn't have time for last year. I want to do this year. So I have to start thinking about how I'm going to free up time to make that happen. To get more specific on the evergreen funnels I was testing, I ran 2. So one was a free training that gave the training and then pitched my program, Hometown Advantage. And then the other one was a paid mini course. So similar vibes, but people had to pay to get access to the content. It was a lot more actionable content. And then it pitches the course at the end and in the follow-up emails. Both converted fine, but could be better. The mini course funnel converted lower, but ended up having similar profits to the other funnel because of the revenue from the front end of the mini course. So a lot of times when you're running ads to a paid low ticket offer, it's not likely that you make money or at least make a ton of money just from selling that low ticket offer. You need to be selling something bigger to really see that good return on ad spend. But it was always my goal to break even on ad spend, which really helped with the overall profitability or my profit after ad spend. Where the free training actually converted higher. So more people who came through the free training ended up buying Hometown Advantage, but my profits were lower because I wasn't making any money on the front end, like with the other offer. I really only ran each funnel for probably 3 months each during different times of the year. The mini course funnel was in February and March, and my April and June launches enrolled a lot of people who had come through that funnel. They just didn't convert in the time sequence that I had put on it to begin with. So due to that metric and due to the fact that I know I can really spend time focusing on increasing the conversion rate to that funnel this year, I'm going to go all in on the low ticket offer to start. If time allows, I honestly would love to keep testing and tweaking both. It's just fun for me. It's really educational. It's really helpful for my own clients that I can put my own money out first, test it, see what's working, see what's not, try all these different types of ads. And then whatever's working for me, I can bring to them. But this leads me into the time issue. And the third thing that I spent a lot of time on this year, organic content. Because I do still believe 100% organic content is a great modality for me. It's just not my method for getting new people to find me. It's actually my method for getting new people to get to know me. So I use my ads for new people to find me, and then I use organic content to nurture, build trust, and really promote my program. Now, as staying consistent and finding time for that, to do it a certain amount of times per week, every week is hard. But I was really committed to finding a system and staying consistent. And I really did. I post 3 to 5 times a week, send 1 to 2 emails a week. And then I had also brought in the podcast this year, which I was not consistent with. But I get so many people who message me and say they listened to my podcast, they binged it, and it made them decide that the program was right for them. So I know that's an important piece to the puzzle. So since I've found a system and strategy that works well for me, I am actually going to have my VA tackle all of my organic content writing and email writing start to finish. She's going to use my podcast and repurpose it into that organic content, and that will be completely off my plate. What was happening before is she was still helping me a lot with it, but I would write it all. I would write out the carousel copy. I would write out what to say on top of my B-roll reels. I would write what to say in my emails. And then she would put it onto the carousels for me or onto the reel. I would look at it, make tweaks, approve, and then she would schedule it out. Now we're going to get rid of the writing process for me. All I'm doing is showing up and recording like this. She can take the transcript. We have custom GPTs to get us started. And then she is going to have a very specific training on how to take what the custom GPT spits out and make sure it's using my voice. it's not lost on me how lucky I am that I have someone who can do this really well. As a little behind the scenes look of how my business is set up, I actually have enough roles in my business for 5 team members. I just added that up for the first time. That sounds crazy, but I only have 3 because I have a virtual assistant who's like my right-hand person. I have 2 junior ads managers that support with my done-for-you client work. I have an online business manager, and I now, starting this month, have a co-coach inside my program that's helping give my Hometown Advantage students even more in-depth feedback and personalized one-on-one support. So that's 5 roles, but I only have 3 people that work in my business because I have 1 person who's my VA, a junior ads manager, and my co-coach. If you're in Hometown Advantage, or if you've ever emailed the support inbox in the last couple months, you would have talked to Melissa. She is incredible. She's a really good marketer, a really good copywriter, and I'm so lucky that I have her and that I can trust her to write, sometimes better than me. Okay, so now with all of that being said, here is the full-on 2026 strategy. I'm going to be using these 4 platforms consistently again. Ads, duh. Instagram and Facebook with, I want more emphasis on Facebook. People are growing on Facebook. It's making its comeback. Email, and then podcast/YouTube. I also would love to sprinkle in Threads and TikTok just for fun, but these are going to have to be extra, just messing around. Again, a huge goal this year is to clear up time, create more free space for myself. So I have that, and then I can post random shit on Threads and TikTok. But I'm not going in with a strategy. Remember, whenever I'm adding something new in, we're just trying random shit. And then as far as ads go, I have 6 live launches on the calendar, spaced out strategically. And then in between those launches, I am going to be running my evergreen funnels, specifically the low ticket mini course. So based on my live launch schedule, I created a full calendar in Airtable for all of 2026 where it shows when to start marketing for my live workshops, when to market the open cart period after the live workshop, and then when to market done-for-you services in between. So I don't use ads to market my done-for-you services. I use it to promote free, low-ticket, Hometown Advantage, and then I get a lot of people that trickle into done-for-you from that. But they need to know that it exists and that we offer it, so I have it in the calendar in cycles. So all year long, we're only promoting 3 things. Why did I say that like that? Promoting. We're only promoting 3 things. A live workshop for my launch, open cart period during the big promotion after the launch, and then done-for-you services. And so when Melissa's going to write my content, first, she's going to reference the podcast episode from the week. And then she's going to look at the calendar and see what are we promoting. Of course, I pre-plan the podcast content to match up with what we're promoting as well. But even if I missed a podcast episode for the week, she could go in the calendar. She could go in the calendar and see, okay, we're promoting a live free workshop for these next couple weeks. Let me go to a different podcast episode and put together a carousel or a reel and say sign up for the workshop. She always knows what we're promoting, and then she has the podcast content for ideas on what to talk about. As far as amount of content, ads, the goal is that they're going to be going all the time. Stay tuned for how much I end up spending because my goal is to spend as much as physically and profitably possible. So I will take you along the ride for the scaling journey there. And then 4 to 8 Facebook and Instagram posts per week. Melissa's going to be doing 4. A big goal of mine is to level up my personal brand this year. I talked about it in some other episodes where I'm talking about my 2025 reflections and 2026 goals. But I need more people who follow me and who are on my email list to be converting into my programs and offers. And part of that is a personal brand level up. So I'm going to be posting those myself, and those are fun for me. Today is actually January 6th, so I'm pre-recording this quite a bit ahead of time, again, because of the new process that we're working on as a team. if you go on my Instagram and go back to around this time, end of December, beginning of January, I went crazy over the Christmas break posting personal brand type content, and it was so fun. And I've been getting a lot of compliments, which I really appreciate. So I'm going to keep up with that. That type of content's so easy for me to put together. I don't have to think about it. I just say something that comes into my brain or share something behind the scenes like this. Versus when I'm sharing about ads specifically, educational content around ads or my own takes around ads, I really have to step back and think about the best way to package it so that I don't bring forward what my business coach calls the curse of the expert, where I just start talking in ads speak and all of my audience's eyes glaze over because they don't have a clue what I'm saying. So that kind of content takes a lot more energy from me to write, and that's what I'm outsourcing. Okay, and then we're also going to do 2 emails a week. One that is promoting the podcast, and then another that's promoting whatever offer we're promoting at that time through the calendar. And then I have 2 podcasts a week on my goals here. I'm already starting to second guess that one, but we're just going to roll with it for now. We're just going to try it, see what happens. My actual thought on the system is that I will batch record 2 podcast episodes in one sitting about a week and a half out of when they will air. That gives Melissa a week and a half to then create the content, write the emails, create carousels, and for me to give a glance over and make sure that everything sounds great. Right after I get done with this podcast episode, I'm actually recording a full-on training for her. I sat in the bath. I joke that I feel like I spent $500,000 on my bathtub because that's basically what our house costs, and I really just wanted it because of the bathtub. And let me tell you, the investment is paying off because I use that thing every single day. I was sitting in there and I was just brain dumping into my notes app using voice to text all the things that I think about, that I do when I'm writing content. All the places I go to look for inspiration, how I use data to come up with ideas, little nuances about things that I write, like formatting emails to make sure they're extra readable, how I create carousels fast, all of that stuff. I brain dumped it into a notes app and then had ChatGPT organize it into buckets for me and create a guide on how to write my content. And that's all put together. I'm just going to record and show her actual examples of things and talk through the guide. So really for 2026, I'm doubling down on what I did in 2025. I'm not adding anything new. I'm really just making more time to make what I did in 2025 be even better. So outsourcing the organic content, I'm outsourcing a lot more things in the business this year. And then being able to pump out more podcast episodes and more ads. Podcasts and ads. Let's go, baby. I'm so excited to have time and space and have fun with my marketing this year. But that being said, I want to share this last little thought. If you're thinking, I do not have time for this, and I don't want to outsource my writing, I don't want to outsource all these things, I don't even know how to get started, I don't have time, I won't even think about this. I see creating a marketing strategy and implementing that marketing strategy a lot like self-care. Here's what I mean. Do I feel like I have all the time in the world to make and prepare healthy meals for myself and my family, to work out, to meditate, to go to therapy, all these things? No, I don't. But do I do it anyway because I want to take care of myself and I want to be the best version of me? Yes. Now, there's some of you out there that are doing the same. You're really focusing on taking care of yourself because you cannot have a thriving business without a thriving business owner. But then there's some of you who don't do those things because, again, you feel like you don't have time. And guess what? You then also suffer the consequences of having not a lot of energy, feeling sluggish, not being able to show up as your best self because you're not energized. You're not nourished properly. I see committing to a marketing strategy the same way, but for business. It's one of those things that you have to do first so that the rest can fall into play. so that you can trust yourself to do what you said you're going to do, to show up for yourself, and to talk about your business so your business can grow. I think about that all the time when people tell me, I don't have time to post, I don't have time to send an email, I don't have time to learn ads. Then you don't have time to nourish and grow and energize your business. Just like working out, preparing healthy meals. It's one of those things that we feel like we don't have time for, but if we're serious about creating our best life, we do it. That's how I feel about marketing, but translate it to the health and the life of your business. You have to make time for it. And since you have to make time for it, you may as well make it fun, right? And you may as well invest and find strategies that work well for you, because that makes it a lot more fun when you're making sales. That being said, I am promoting my Done For You services right now. And I have really 2 exciting ways you can get me and my team to do your ads for you. One is our monthly retainer services. This is for businesses doing 4, 5, 600K and above who are ready to just have ads as a part of their strategy to get to $1 million or higher. And they're ready to bring in a team of experts, a small team that you are going to have one specific ad manager assigned to you. You're going to have me as the overseer of the strategy. We get things done and we get them done fast. And we use data to drive our decisions and create new ads and present new ideas to you so that you don't have to be the innovator. You don't have to be the doer. Okay, this is for somebody who really wants a full-on expert team coming into their business and taking over that side. I have a link in my bio to This is an Instagram. I have a link in my description to book a call to talk about if those services are right for you and when we can get started. The second way you can work with me, I feel like I need a drum roll for this. It's a brand new offer. It's called Ready, Set, Launch. Okay. And this offer is for you if you're not exactly ready for monthly retainer services, but you want to get ads up and you want someone to get your ads up for you. Ready, Set, Launch is a VIP week type offer. So what happens is you will book a call with me on a Monday. So spaces are limited because we're only going to take one person a week to start. And then by the next Monday, you will have an ad campaign up and running. And for the rest of the month, you can be in Slack with me and my team. And we will consult you and support you in managing and optimizing your ads on your own. So you get this full strategic mind that I just talked you through on this episode. You get my team writing your ad copy, doing your ad creatives. We also can use your own creatives that you bring to the table if you would like. You get us launching your ads in Ads Manager. You get a full Loom video from us explaining how to do simple things that you might want to do. Change your budget, turn ads on and off, change out creatives, all of that fun stuff. And then you get to ask us any question at any time, get a response within 24 hours as your ads are running for the rest of the month. The investment for this is $1,400. I'm taking 6 people at this price before it goes up. I have a feeling this is going to sell out quick. If you have any questions about it, please send an email, support@NicoleEldridgeMedia.com. Send me a DM on Instagram. The link to learn even more about the offer and book it is in the description. It's also in my bio on Instagram. It's on my website. Let's get you in. Let's get you booked. Let's get your ads up and running.